554 new cases have been reported in Maryland. That's much lower than the daily case number we saw yesterday, but the number of people hospitalized, that has increased slightly.
WJZ investigator Mike Kellgren reports from the convention center with new information from the governor. Mike.
A doctor with the state health department describes Maryland's numbers as relatively steady. Still, a number of school systems are saying no to in-person classes for now. Baltimore City and Arundel County are joining other school systems in starting the next school year online only. The city school CEO also wants to push back the start until after Labor Day. Still, she's hopeful for a hybrid of online and in-person classes at some point.
We want to be able to do right. We want to be able to keep our staff as safe as possible, provide staff with options, provide families with options.
It comes after Maryland saw 700 new cases a day for 3 days last week and more than 900 new cases Sunday. On Monday, the state recorded 554 new cases, and Governor Hogan appeared on The View.
We're doing a really good job and have declining numbers, but many states across the country are spiking. Testing and contact tracing is the key to getting a handle on this virus.
The governor said the tests the state bought from South Korea provide faster results and are key to the record number of testing conducted statewide.
We're now using 2,000 or 3,000 of them a day, and our plan was to have enough on hand to last us all the way through the fall, where we may have to end up ordering even more because we're using them faster than we anticipated.
Health officials remain concerned about cases in bars and restaurants and the rising positivity rate among young adults. The health department says establishments that do not enforce mask or social distancing rules could lose their business licenses.
We've talked with the Maryland State Police. We know that there are concerns not only about bars and restaurants, but about private parties where people may be congregating in homes or elsewhere to get together. And I can only tell people the same thing that we've already said, which is COVID is still here. Young people are completely 100% capable of developing COVID-19. They are not immune in any sense whatsoever.
The health department says they have not had to take any action against restaurants yet. The governor is pushing for stricter enforcement. At the convention center in Baltimore, Mike Kellgren, WJZ.
All right, thank you, Mike. Now, Annie Rose Ramos joins us now. 2 local school districts have released their plans for learning this fall. Annie Rose, what can students and parents expect in Baltimore City?
Denise, this announcement has sent parents into planning mode, many trying to figure out how they're going to work while making sure their kids are learning from home. Baltimore City's 2020 school year starting out online.
This is absolutely the right decision.
After 60 days of deliberating and speaking with families and employees, the school district is opting for virtual classes. Baltimore Teachers Union calling Monday's decision a victory.
Online, you can't really play with your friends. I also don't have to worry about going to school and getting germs.
Leaving children and parents looking toward a very different school year.
I worry about the quality of the education.
Matt and Chelsea Schutz supporting the decision.
Well, our kids aren't going to be in kindergarten and 2nd grade.
But say it comes with challenges as working parents.
Having the kids at home full time and trying to supervise their learning.
Online learning has its challenges for students as well.
I don't have my own computer, and so we both have to use my mom's. It's all fuzzy and you can't hear your teachers right. Sometimes my classes overlap with Sally's classes, and so I have to miss a class.
The district says they're planning on in-person schooling for later in the fall.
Bringing students back into classrooms is a recipe for disaster.
Classes start Tuesday, September 8th, giving teachers enough time to train in virtual learning.
I think everybody needs all the planning time they can get.
And parents enough time planning for a new way of schooling.
I don't know if I'm going to be very good at it, but I'm going to give it my best shot.
And the school district says that they are going to give themselves until October 16th to make a decision about in-person learning. Reporting live, I'm Annie Rose Ramos for WJZ.
Annie Rose, thank you. Let's bring in Rachel Minitoff now. Anne Arundel County hosting an emergency town hall to talk about the upward trend in coronavirus cases. Rachel, it's one of the reasons why schools will be held exclusively online for the first semester. Tell us more.
Vic, that's right. The superintendent here says he's looking most closely at the data and the science. And given the current state of the pandemic, he says the best course of action is to start the year off virtually. Maryland saw an overnight increase of more than 500 coronavirus cases. The state reports total cases stand at about 78,600. Arundel County says it's averaging a 4% positivity rate, and its hospitalizations are also going up. Arundel County health officer says what's manageable right now can easily become unmanageable. In terms of infection rate, the county's health department says anything below 1 indicates the virus is being suppressed. The county now has an infection rate of 1.2, which officials say is indicative of a quickly spreading virus. The county executive says the numbers started going up here in mid-June, about 2 weeks after the governor announced phase 2 reopenings.
Our hospitals developed the capacity to handle the surge in patients, but they don't want to see that surge. Since right now they're just building back to do the elective cases, handle the emergencies, and keep people safe in the hospital. That has always been their role. And a surge would disrupt their ability to do that again.
The rise in cases is why the county has decided that students will not return to in-person schooling and instead take online virtual classes in the fall. The county says it's making improvements since the spring semester to create a more robust e-teaching model. And some of those improvements include more real-time instruction between teachers and students. The county is also working on a virtual orientation for families so that they can become more familiar with the online system. We're live in Glen Burnie tonight. I'm Rachel Menitoff for WJZ.